In One Piece episode 1071, we finally get to see Luffy's Gear 5th and learn the secret of the Gomu no Mi, now known as the mythical Zoan Hito no Mi model Nika, that is, Sun God Nika. This links it to the creator of One Piece, not Oda, but the liberator known as Joy Boy. The most ridiculous transformation in the history of anime and manga. Let's dive into it. We've been with Monkey D. Luffy on his long journey to find the One Piece through more than 1,000 episodes and chapters. Later we found out that the One Piece was actually owned by a mysterious and very powerful person named Joy Boy. We still have many questions about who Joy Boy really was and what part he played in the Void Century in the Ancient Kingdom. However, Gear 5th has brought us much closer to solving all the secrets of One Piece. When the Devil Fruit user's mind is fully in sync with their powers, that's when the awakening of the Devil Fruit takes place. In the final showdown between Luffy and Kaido, our hero got distracted by a CP0 agent. As a result, Kaido was able to land a massive hit on Luffy, nearly sending him to Heaven's Gate. Though we are not sure if his life was actually ended or not. And it's also unclear what sparked the transformation, whether it was his near-death experience or his firm resolve to free Wano. But what we do know for certain is that as Luffy was on the brink of death, he was able to awaken his true Devil Fruit. This awakening is the first since the Void Century. This means the fruit was a key part of the Great War, a story we are all eager to uncover. And most importantly, it highlights the extreme length the world government went to in order to erase history. Not only was the entire ancient kingdom wiped out, but also the knowledge of the Hito no Mi model Nika, demonstrating just how potent the fruit really is. It could well be the most powerful fruit in the world. Unless of course you count whatever fruit Imu consumed. If Imu even has a fruit to start with. But that's a topic for another discussion. So the government did everything it could to prevent this fruit from ever awakening again, even going as far as changing its official name. But why? Because, and that's very important, the essence of this fruit isn't rubber, as the power of the fruit is only limited by the user's imagination. And this is key to understanding why the government decided to change the name. By labeling it as the Gomu no Mi and categorizing it as a rubber fruit, they limited the user's expectations, and with that, their imagination to only that concept. And as a result, the fruit will always be seen as a simple rubber fruit. So even if it's found by anyone other than the world government, it would be useless. At least that was the theory behind their intention. Of course, we can't say that rubber isn't a critical part of the fruit. Luffy demonstrated the rubber characteristic right after biting into it without even knowing what the fruit was. So it's not like rubber has nothing to do with it and it's just Luffy's imagination. That would be the case if, for example, Shanks implied that it's the Gomu no Mi before Luffy showed the rubber attribute. But that's not the case. However, when you consider, for example, Luffy's fire abilities, it becomes evident what the true power of the fruit is and why it's not just about rubber. Luffy wanted to honor his brother Ace, rest in peace, and so his imagination gave him fire abilities. This implies that he could potentially recreate every single power that exists. If he can imagine it, it can become real. If you consider this in relation to the awakening attributes of the Paramecia type, another mystery about the fruit since it was revealed to be a zone, yet has Paramecia features. The user can transform the environment and sometimes people into the attribute of the fruit, or influence them with the attribute of the fruit. In Luffy's case, the three known attributes are rubber, imagination, and love. Joy, ridiculousness, or whatever you wanna call it. So that's why Luffy can change things into rubber. That's why he can transform things according to his imagination, like creating fire. And most importantly, that's why during Gear 5th, people close to him also appear like cartoon characters. This isn't just for animation purpose, it's literally the main point of Gear 5. For instance, when their eyes pop out, it's not just an expression that doesn't actually happen physically in the One Piece world. It happens exactly as we saw it in One Piece episode 1071. It's not a comedy aspect. Luffy is literally altering reality to whatever he thinks is funny. And why is this? It's because that's what Luffy as a person finds funny. If someone else had a different sense of humor, the power would most likely manifest differently. That's why it's said to be the most ridiculous power in the world. It literally makes your imaginations come true in the most ridiculous way. It's the power designed to shine a light during the darkest times, capable of making people laugh even when they face the most evil villains. That's why it's so effective that Luffy is the one who ate the fruit. His natural goofiness, his large imagination, and his love for laughter and mockery, especially outside of serious situations, make him the perfect candidate. He makes everyone laugh even if he doesn't intend to because of the fruit. However, one question remains. Did the person shape the power, or did the power shape the person? Does Luffy's goofy behavior make the nika fruit more potent than necessary, or is Luffy the way he is because he ate the fruit? So it's not his personality that determines the fruit's strength, but rather the fruit that shapes the user's personality. So it aligns with the fruit's attributes, creating the optimal environment for its usage, particularly during the awakening transformation. During this stage, Luffy is noticeably more ridiculous than usual. Even his own heartbeat made him laugh. You could make the case that Luffy purposely yet subconsciously changed his own heartbeat to amuse himself, because that's the nature of the hito no Mi model Nika, and this applies to absolutely everything around him during Gear 5th, including Kaido. This again proves that this aspect is indeed part of the fruit, because in this way the imagination can become much more lively and funny, and with that also stronger and more effective. When we go back to the first event in Luffy's life that we know of in the One Piece series, we can actually see that Luffy had an entirely different personality before eating the fruit. He was actually a bit grumpy, didn't appreciate jokes, got irritated quickly, and wasn't as funny as we know him now. But immediately after he ate the fruit, he started doing funny things unintentionally and made everyone around him laugh. He himself confirmed that after eating the fruit he feels much happier, which is an effect of the fruit. It's about being joyful like Joy Boy. Joy Boy, Nika, Luffy. These three names are strongly interconnected. There might even be more names that we don't yet know which have something to do with the fruit. Given the three known names, the question comes up whether these are only two individuals. In other words, Nika didn't actually exist, and Joy Boy, just like Luffy, became Nika because he ate the fruit. And now Luffy became Joy Boy, who became Nika because they ate the fruit. Or are they maybe really three different people? That is, Nika, after whom the devil fruit was named, maybe it has something to do with the origin of the devil fruits. Perhaps Nika was just like Imu at some point. That's why I mentioned earlier that maybe Imu doesn't even have a fruit. If certain devil fruits were once powerful gods turned into devil fruits. This will align with the argument made by the 5 elders that the world government has failed to attain the hito no Mi model Nika for over 800 years. They believe that this failure was due to the fruit's own will. If fruits have its own will, then perhaps these fruits were indeed alive at some point in whatever form. So maybe Nika, before becoming a fruit, was indeed a real person. The warrior of liberation said to bring smiles, joy, and freedom to the people. These aspects were then inherited by the fruit, given to Joy Boy and now Luffy. It's clear that Luffy's mental state has been significantly influenced as a result. Because of the true nature of the devil fruit, Luffy brims with excitement even in the heat of battle, maintaining his grin while holding his form. So it appears that by eating the hito no Mi model Nika, Luffy's fate became finding the One Piece and becoming the Pirate King. And that's it for my hito no Mi model Nika Gear 5th explanation. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video, and let me know what you think of the new One Piece episode 1071. And of course, if you want to see more One Piece content, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated. One Piece anime and One Piece manga content. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.